Imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table late at night, staring at a spreadsheet or maybe just the banking app on your phone. You've been working hard. You've had the promotions, you've checked the boxes, and yet, when you look at that final balance, it feels like you're running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up. You're moving, but you're not really getting anywhere. We've all been told the same story about wealth, that it's this slow, steady climb, a perfectly smooth line moving up and to the right. But if you've been living that story, you probably feel like you're failing because your life doesn't look like a textbook graph. The truth is much more jarring. Wealth doesn't arrive gradually, it arrives in lurches. It's defined by long, exhausting stretches where it feels like absolutely nothing is happening, interrupted by brief, intense windows where everything shifts. If you don't know where those windows are, you'll likely give up right before the breakthrough happens. Hi, I'm Ben. If you want to stop stressing about money and start building wealth, you're in the right place. I break down finance into simple, easy steps. So grab a notebook and let's dive right in. The reason so many of us feel stuck is that we've been taught to focus on the wrong metric. We focus on income. We think if we could just earn another $10,000 a year or hit that six-figure salary, the stress would evaporate. But I've seen people making $200,000 a year who are functionally broke, and I've seen teachers making $50,000 who are technically retired in their 40s. The difference isn't their paycheck, it's that the teacher understood the three specific milestones of wealth, while the high earner was just chasing a bigger treadmill. We need to stop looking at our bank accounts as a measure of our worth and start looking at them as series of checkpoints. Most people fail because they get lost in what I call the motivation desert, that space where you're doing the right things, but the results are too small to see and too slow to feel. The first milestone is arguably the most difficult because it's the most boring. It's your first $10,000 of invested capital. I want to be very clear here. I'm not talking about $10,000 in a savings account. Savings are just money that exists. Investments are money that works. Until you have that first $10,000 deployed in assets, whether that's a retirement account or a simple index fund, you haven't actually started the journey. You're just in the waiting room. The reason 10,000 is the magic number is psychological. If you have $2,000 invested and the market has a great year and returns 10%, you made $200. That's a nice dinner, but it doesn't change your life. It doesn't make you feel like an investor. But when you hit 10,000, that same 10% return is $1,000. That's a mortgage payment. That's a flight to see family. Suddenly, your brain registers that money was created without you having to trade an hour of your life for it. That realization is the spark that turns a saver into a wealth builder. Once you cross that first threshold, the game changes, but the mountain gets steeper before it levels off. This leads us to the second milestone, the first $100,000 in net worth. There's a reason legends like Charlie Munger said the first 100 grand is a nightmare. It's because mathematically, you were still doing the heavy lifting. If you're trying to get to 100,000, your contributions, the actual cash you're scraping together from your paycheck, are driving 90% of the growth. It feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill. But once you cross that six-figure mark, something miraculous happens. The boulder starts to find its own momentum. Between 100,000 and 150,000, you hit a crossover point where your investment returns likely start to exceed your annual contributions. You are no longer the primary source of your wealth growth, the money is. However, this is also the most dangerous place to be. When you hit 100,000, you finally feel wealthy. You feel like you've arrived, and that's when the temptation to upgrade the car, move into the luxury apartment, or start spending $4,000 on a vacation kicks in. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is a silent killer. If you pull the plug on your contributions just as the engine is reaching operational velocity, you are making one of the most expensive mistakes of your life.
The people who actually make it to true freedom are the ones who hit 100,000 and instead of celebrating by spending, they celebrate by accelerating. They stay in the humble car for 2 more years, they keep the same rent, they let that compounding engine run hot while it's finally working in their favor. The final milestone is the one that actually equals peace, the year your passive income covers your baseline expenses. Notice I didn't say it's the year you have $5 million. Wealth isn't a net worth number, it's a ratio. If your non-negotiable bills, your rent, your groceries, your basic insurance total $3,000 a month, you need a portfolio that generates $36,000 a year. Using a standard 4% withdrawal rule, that means you need about $900,000. To someone with no plan, $900,000 sounds like a fantasy. But to someone who crossed the first milestone at 25 and the second at 35, it's just an inevitable destination on a map. The secret variable here isn't how much you make, it's the denominator. If you earn more, but your baseline needs also grow to $8,000 a month, your target moves from $900,000 to over $2 million. You've just added a decade of work to your life for a slightly nicer kitchen counter. The fastest way to reach this milestone isn't necessarily a bigger salary, it's keeping your freedom number low. Every dollar you shave off your permanent lifestyle needs is a dollar your portfolio doesn't have to replace, which brings your retirement date months or even years closer to today. When you start looking at your life through the lens of these 3 milestones, the noise of the financial world starts to fade. You stop worrying about what the stock market did today or what your neighbor just bought. You realize you're just on a journey between checkpoints. This shift in perspective takes the anxiety out of the process. It's no longer about being rich in some vague, distant sense. It's about the tangible goal of getting to 10,000, then 100,000, and finally to the point where you work because you want to, not because you have to. It transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for autonomy. If you want to start moving toward these milestones today, I want you to do something practical. Don't just listen to this and nod. Take out your phone or a piece of paper. First, find out exactly how much you have invested. Not saved, but invested. If it's less than 10,000, your only mission in life right now is to reach that number. Automate a contribution today, even if it's just $50. Second, look at your monthly bills and find your survival number, the absolute minimum you need to keep the lights on and food on the table. Multiply that monthly number by 300. That is your freedom number. Write it down. Look at it. It's not an imaginary monster anymore. It's a coordinate on a map. I want you to remember that progress is rarely a straight line. You're going to have months where a car repair sets you back or a job transition slows you down. That's okay. The milestones don't move. Only your pace does. As long as you're heading toward the next threshold with intention, you are winning. Wealth isn't about the finishing line. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly where you are and exactly where you're going. You've got the map now. All that's left is to keep walking. Thanks for watching. Check out this next video to grow your wealth even faster. See you there.